I'm coming to you from the kitchen. As many of you guys know, that we bought a Jersey cow a few weeks ago that was in milk, and we've been milking her and making lots of goodies with it. We have the cream separator, which you probably saw a recent video I've just posted of us separating the cream and the milk, and we've made some butter. So I'll do a video on making the butter as well. But the other thing we've been doing here is making cheeses with the fresh raw Jersey milk, which is so good. So everybody tells you should start with a simple, easy cheese first and work your way up to harder cheeses. So I've done ricotta, which is pretty straightforward. It's just basically heat your milk up to, I think it's 90 degrees, add in some acid, either vinegar or lemon juice. It curdles, you strain it. Ricotta cheese, you salt it up, some herbs, tastes awesome. So I've done that once. It's not my favorite cheese to eat, but if you want a quick little cheese to make, that's the way to go. The other cheeses I made were cheese curds. I've done that twice now. That's a bit of a longer process. One thing about cheeses is you need to heat it up, add your cultures, let it sit for like an hour, hour and a half for them to do their thing, and then you need to add your rennet or calcium chloride and let that sit for another 45 minutes to an hour to form the curd. Then cut the curd. Then you need to as well recook the curd, bring it up to temperature depending on the cheeses. Then you have pressing the cheeses and a whole bunch of different things there as well. So the next cheese I made was Brie, which I'll show you today because I'm pretty excited about it. It's about 2 weeks old now, and I made, I think, oh, this is the feta here. I'll pull it out here. I made 5 different Bries here. So here's one of the Brie wheels I made. It's started forming the mold about 5 days ago. And after you've actually made the Brie, you set it in a container like this with the lid on. So it starts forming the cheese, or sorry, the mold. And you need to flip it every day for I think up to 2 months. So it just gets the cheese layers moving and makes it gooey. I don't know the process. There's one mold I did not put in here, the geotrichum I think it was. Some recipes called for it, some didn't. And the reason you use that is so you don't get the skin slip on it, which means that your mold layer doesn't slip off it. So if you can see on this cheese here, on this Brie cheese, it's kind of come off a wee bit here. So that's the skin slip there. And but I mean, it's holding up pretty good so far. I'm pretty happy with that one. Might have to drain it out because the humidity is pretty high and there's lots of liquid in the bottom. And then here is the bigger one I did. So you can see on this one as well, it's got the skin slip here. And then on this side here as well, you can see a little bit of it, but I think the cheese or the mold's starting to grow over it again. So that's a nice big one here. And then I used a funky mold because I had a few curds left. So we did a funny looking one like that. And so I think these have to sit out for, well, this one's pretty loose, the mold on it. It's got a bit of the skin slip there as well, but so far I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, so you leave these at room temperature for I think 2 or 3 weeks. I have to reread the directions because there's so much to know about cheese. There's so many lines of instructions to go through, so it takes a while to wrap your head around it at first. But I'm pretty happy with this. Can't wait to dig my taste buds onto these bad boys and see how well they taste. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of room for improvement. Brie's a bit of a harder cheese to do. It's a more of an intermediate cheese, but I like to jump into things and just go to town and see what I can do with it. So there's the Brie cheese. Pretty happy with that so far. And now the other cheese was feta I made the other day. That's pretty straightforward. Once you've got it pressed and everything, you salt it in a brine here. And I've got 3 of these actually. So there we go. I mean, you can do any shape for this that you want, really. And I've got another one in here that I've been kind of tasting away. It called for a 10% brine. And I did 10% brine. It seemed really salty, like extra salty. And it's a bit slimy here. I'm not sure why. But we'll taste a little taste bud. We'll take a little taste of it right here. It's been in there for about a week now, the brine. Yeah, it's definitely tastes like feta. So good. So I'm hoping to get some stuff to make a feta or a Greek salad with it. And then who knows what else. Exciting, the possibilities with cheese are endless. Okay. So there you go, guys. That's what we've been doing with our Jersey milk, making cheeses when we get a large amount. I've been doing 2 gallons worth every time of cheese, of milk, and then that gets down to this amount of cheese here. It's working out well. So I may try to do a video on a process of making cheese, but it's kind of long and drawn out, and I don't have patience to shoot a video on that, to be quite honest. But we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll do an easy cheese like the ricotta, or maybe even the cheese curds, because cheese curds isn't too bad. But there you have it, guys. Just wanted to show you my Brie cheeses and my feta cheese and how they're coming along in our cheese journey. So yeah, next I want to try cheddar, and then I really want to do some Parmesan because that's got to sit for a year and age. But that's a more advanced cheese, and you need a cheese press, which we don't have yet. So once we get that, we'll try making some of those other cheeses and show you the process along the way. Hope you guys enjoyed that quick little video on our cheeses we're making here from our Jersey milk. It's so exciting here. Don't have to buy cheese anymore. We can make it now. So thanks for watching, guys. Give us a subscribe if you haven't already. Give it a thumbs up and share it around. We'll see you out there.